Hello, today I would like to present values in Z-Wave Spirit Plus thermostat and how to manage them. So let's switch to the Home Assistant, and here I already have a dashboard, so I added all thermostat to separate dashboards, and you can see I have a bedroom, saloon, and an office. And the most important thing is that you should set the valve control to 0 and leave it as it is. Every thermostat should set this value to 0 and just like that. And believe me, it is working. And the other values that should be changed from default value, default state is the first of all, window open detection. So change the value from medium to high. And the next value that you can change is temperature report threshold and temperature offset. So those two you can change if you want to. Then I changed the LCD timeout to 5 seconds. By default, it is set to 0. And next thing is to change the insert LCD. So if you have a UK edition, so you can change to inverted version, and this is the second thing that you need to change if you want to. And next thing is something that I would like to focus on: send battery status unsolicited once a day. So set this as I did here. And also change the lockup protection state to protected by sequence. By default, it is set to unprotected state. So I prefer to use it. And this is everything you need to set. And then instead of changing those values manually, what is nonsense in my opinion, better option is to write an automation. So go to settings and automation scenes, and I have something like this. So I can decrease temperature to 22. So I will click it and you can see the trigger is just added as a time, and I will show you how to do that. And create automation, create new automation, add a trigger, and select a time and set the fixed time, and then add an action. So you can add a device, or instead of device, I prefer to use a service. So call a service, and then you can call a service and you can use it. So I will show you how to do this by an example that I already did. So you have a trigger, so the time, and you have a service. And here you call the service climate set target temperature. This is the service you call. And then you choose from this choose device, you click on here, and so from the drop down list you have all those three, in my case, available or more. And then tick temperature and set the desired value. In my case, it was 22. So at 9 p.m., so 21 here, it changed the temperature to 22, and that is all. And the same I did for increase temperature. So exactly the time is fixed. So at 5:30 a.m. in the morning, it changed the value to 24. That's all. And what I already did, if you want to see how it works, I will then select this one and 3 dots here and run. And now it will change value to 22. Go to overview, go to this, and you can see it is 22, 22, and 22. That is all. And now I will go to settings, automation scenes, and I will increase to 24 and run, and go back to overview dashboard. For each one, you can see 24 is set. And that is all. Thermostats are working, and valve control is everywhere, is set to 0, and this is working as expected. Now go to settings, automation scenes, and you can see something like automated ping every hour and a half. So sometimes it happens that device goes from alive to dead. So I will click it here, and you have a trigger. And trigger is every 30 minutes of every hour. So this is the description. And this is the time exactly, but not time, but a time pattern. So create automation, create a new automation, something like that, add a trigger and time pattern. And this is what I use. Okay, So this is something that I did, and this is the pattern. And then you can see conditions, and I choose the template condition, and in the template condition you have these values. So now you can see the function now, then dot hour multiply 60 plus now function dot minute, and then it's divided by 90 0 equals 0, right? So this is a template condition. And then I have a call service Z-Wave ping node, so you can see this. And what I did, I just clicked here, chose the device, and I selected all 3 thermostats. That's all. And this is the trigger that pings those 3 devices every 90 minutes. That is how it works. So if you will change this to 60, it will be working every 60. So it depends on the value you will put there. So this is something that is pinging those devices every 90 minutes, and that is all. Now you can see I have something like notification. So if you will click here, you can see I have node status changed. So this is the trigger for each thermostat from active to dead. So if any of these will be dead, I will receive notification, push notification on my 2 mobile devices. That is all. I just added my mobile devices to Home Assistant, and then I can use a push notification, so it will be sent to my mobile devices and that they went into the dead mode. And now that state, okay? And now next thing is separate ping if you want to, because you can do automated ping every hour and a half. But also, if you want to, you can ping the device if it is dead. So if I will click here, I can see node status change for thermostat in the office, and the state is from alive to dead, and the duration 5 minutes. And then there's an action, call a service Z-Wave ping node, and you choose, in this case, only one thermostat because you created an action for only one device. And so you can see I created ping for 3 devices separately. And you can see it is working as expected. So that's it. And you can create automation for your thermostat to be able to work with them and to be sure they are working as expected. And if there's something wrong, everything will be automated and devices will be pinged, and they should go into the alive state without any problem. This is the way you can do. And there is another thing that I would like to mention, that if you will go to settings, device and services, Z-Wave for devices, and you can select any of the thermostat. For example, it will be my office, and here you have something like ping. If you will select it and press, so the device is pinged, right? But also here, so this is the manual mode and automated mode I presented, but also here under 3 dots you have the ranger view. And the problem is that in this add-on settings, add-ons, in this Z-Wave of JS official add-on, there is no option to re-interview it through the automation. I mean, this automation thing here, there is no option to do that. But if you will install the community edition, so go to the add-on store and choose, instead of this Z-Wave JS, choose the Z-Wave, but not the Open Z-Wave, but the community edition. So just type Z-Wave here. It's much better. Home Assistant Community Edition add-ons. And I would like to see this where it is located. Z-Wave JS UI. So this is section Home Assistant Community add-ons. And here you have this Z-Wave JS UI. And this add-on, if you will install it, allows you to re-interview the device automatically by creating a proper automation here. But the problem is that I just was looking for the solution in the internet, and there are many examples. So I'm not sure which one is working correctly. I will have to figure it out one day, and for sure I will test it, and I will check is it working correctly. But this is something for a separate topic, and I would like to focus it about and talk about this default values, because I was testing it and I wasn't sure is it working correctly. Yes, it is. In most cases, if you will just connect your thermostat from the Z-Wave Spirit Plus into the radiator, and you will then install the add-on, the official one, the Z-Wave GS, by default, you will then go to settings and devices and services, and you will add an integration, so Z-Wave like this, and we'll create this one, and we will choose the Z-Wave. I already presented it, and I will go back here and cancel it, and then it will appear here with your dongle, USB dongle, USB hub actually, like here. So you will see this Z-Wave USB stick, right? So then you will be able to just add a new device, but not here, not in this option, but go back earlier and click here. So I will go back here and click not on devices, but on logo. And here you have to click configure. And here you add a new device, and this searching circle will appear, and you will be able to add your device without any problem. And after that, in most cases, the default values are working correctly. So only those values that I presented in the beginning of this tutorial, you can change them, but in all those default settings, by default, it is working without any problem, really. So sometimes, 22 degrees of Celsius, that is set by default on thermostat, it's too cold for me. And you will see that the radiator is cold. Yes, 22 degrees of Celsius is a lot. And even here, if I will set the 24 degrees of Celsius, believe me, my radiator they are cold. And I'm touching now my radiator in the office now, and it's cold. Just because you can see there is 24 degrees of Celsius that is set and on the radiator, but the temperature of the air is 23,27 degrees of Celsius. So actually the temperature is fine, and there's no need to heat the air, right? So a radiator went into the offline mode. I mean that the thermostat didn't provide a heat to my radiator, so it's cold. But that is fine. It's pretty cool solution. So also, if you do not want to use a home assistant, there is an application and from JS, and there are other applications, and you can look for on YouTube, and there are people who are presenting how to make it work using an application. Sometimes these tutorials are really old. I mean, 2-3 years backward. So they didn't, even some of them didn't present what to click. I mean, how to download which application and how to click and how to configure it on the phone. But believe me, it's intuitive. So you can just download it and use it and test it, just because this is your task. Test it. And some people are talking, those thermostats are not working. Wrong. They are working correctly, but you need to understand how they are working. And that's all. So the thermostat is measuring the temperature of the air and is probably working the way that it's not a gearbox inside that, but there's something kind of, I don't know how the engine inside works. So it's pushing the inner valve there, so and it gives you the opportunity. So it opens and closes the valve in your radiator, right? So this is the way it works. So it measures the temperatures, and if the temperatures go below the threshold, then it opens the valve and it goes warm. The radiator it became become warm. And in my case, I did it. So I set the temperature to, for example, 26 degrees of Celsius, and it started to work. I mean, I heard the sound of this so-called gear inside this thermostat, and it opened the valve, and then after I don't know, 10 minutes or even less, the radiator was warm, and after an hour it was very, very, very hot. So I decreased the temperature to 24 degrees of Celsius, and this temperature for me is really good and not too cold, not warm in the room. So this is pretty fine. By default, sometimes for someone 22 degrees of Celsius is not sufficient, and that is why I really recommend to just, test it, which temperature is cool and for you, right? It's proper. So you feel comfortable in your room, and you will see that they are really working and there is no problem with them. Eventually, you need to reconsider one thing, and I will switch to my camera and we'll finish the talk. So you need to reconsider sometimes where exactly there is a main device where the USB stick is located. I'm talking about the Z-Wave USB hub stick, the dongle that is working the way that is managing all those devices and connecting with them. So if you will close it into some metal box, I mean the rack or something like this, sometimes there will be a problem with the connectivity. So you have to put it outside the box and put it on the top, for example, as I did, and then it will work, and it will be able to connect with those devices, with radiators in my case. So this is something that you need to reconsider. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much, and have a nice day or night. Take care. Bye bye.